What's up, Kubota crew? Welcome back to our live stream. Hopefully y'all are doing well today and have gotten a little bit of sleep last night and are ready for our morning live setup today here on Tuesday. Hopefully y'all also had a good weekend and yeah, ready to take some trades, check out what's going on today, and yeah, just kind of catch up with the markets. If you weren't on yesterday, we had a little bit of a trade kind of happened to the upside, and then later that night we kind of ended up falling off and ended up coming from that 93,000 range all the way down to the almost 90,000, really 90,500 or so, and now we're kind of hovering there. So we'll have to kind of see as we get our battle box set up what's going on and what kind of things we can get into today. It'll kind of just depend on, like I said, what's going on. Yeah, we'll kind of see. We're gonna have to throw some lines on the chart, see what we got for today. So we'll go on, head to that battle box site and get it set up. So if you guys don't know, this is our website right here, BattleBox, or sorry, not BattleBox, Kubota.com. We got the BattleBox on it. The BattleBox is our AI trading, I wouldn't say trading system actually, our AI indicator basically for the chart. So AI mentor, essentially just here to help you learn how to trade better. We're going to head on to the battle control today. This is what we use most of the time. It's not loading right. For our different trades and such. Okay, never mind. We're actually going to head to session control. My bad. I don't know what's up with battle control. Head to session control. It should look like this once you get there. You'll have basically what you got here is this is the asset that we're trading. So we got Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana all on here. We are going to stick with Bitcoin for the live stream. We got our asset though, like I said, and then after that we got the different markets you can trade. So we got a couple of different ones on here. We typically stick with the New York futures one. You can't actually see them whenever I open them for whatever reason. But yeah, you're going to want to like click it open. You can check out the different ones. We got the New York equity market, London market, Tokyo market, Sydney market, and just the UTC crypto default market. We're going to stick with the New York futures though, because it is closest to the time frame we're trading right here on the live. And it's just also the one that we like to trade. It typically has the most volatility. Not always, but you know, typically. And then below that, so below that line there, we got our time frame for the market that you're trading in. So since we're in the New York session one, we got our market open, calibration, so what time you should be kind of setting up your charts, and then what time the market actually kind of kicks in, I guess, like it's time to start looking for some trades possibly, is 8. And then 3 p.m. is kind of the time when everything's pretty much happened, and that's about it for the day. And then down here we got our different triggers, which will populate after we initiate our calibration. So once we got our asset picked and also our session picked, we'll just hit initiate calibration. And it'll pop up with our daily resistance, breakout trigger, breakdown trigger, and daily support. And we can just go ahead and copy the indicator data right here, and that'll give us what we need for our chart. So we can head back to our chart here. You can see my lines are kind of all over the place. They're actually from yesterday, so you can kind of see the support and resistance right there happening. And then it kind of came down, broke through some of those resistances, came back, retested, you know. They're all on here. So what we'll do is we're going to open up our Kubota Battle Box indicator. It also comes with a subscription to our site. And we're just going to go ahead and drop our new data strand right into there. And that will set up our lines in the correct spot for today. So this is what our session's kind of looking like today. In green here is our breakout trigger, and then in purple down here is our breakdown trigger. So whenever we get the cross of those, our system says we get 2 15-minute closes, 5-minute retests, and we'll be jumping into one of those. And then we also got daily resistance and support. The resistance up here in red, and then support is right here in blue, right below purple. So basically, we got all of our lines set up on the chart. All we have to do is click of a button. Super simple, super easy. It's just the power of the battle box here. And we got it set up. So it's really, really easy. That's what we made it for. Got our coffee today. Just normal. You know, we got little Santa Fe. Forget what I think it's just French roast is what it is, but I don't know. Their pods are just better. Like, we have a Keurig, and their pods are just way nicer. Like, it actually like makes good coffee. I don't know. Like, some of the pods, you know, it just kind of like spits water through them. Like, they don't even actually get coffee in them. But yeah, Santa Fe just makes better coffee cups. Always good to have coffee in the morning. Always got to have it whenever you take that trade. Get some coffee, you know, get up, get ready, get some breakfast, get your brain going, and then you're ready to trade. All right, we got our market set up now. So, I mean, honestly, that's really it. Now you're just kind of sitting here watching, you know. We are going to go over kind of the rest of the battle box system, but honestly, like, if that's all you did a good job, you know. Like, that's really all you have to do for most of it, just because, like, what else are you gonna do? Now you're just waiting for that close and retest, and then it'll tell you to jump in, you know. So we're gonna actually launch our battle box AI and kind of run and see what the AI has to say about the market today, and see if we can get into maybe a little bit more scope, I guess, on what the market actually has for us today. Because right now, you know, we're just kind of, we got our lines on there, but we don't know, is it more likely to go up, more likely to go down, any kind of, like, what's happening today, what's the candles look like, that kind of thing. And you can do TA on it, you know, like we could go through 4 hour, 1 hour, 15, 5, and kind of run through and say, oh, you know, this is happening, we got this higher low, this lower low, MACD's doing this, RSI's doing this, but the best way we found to get a scope on it is actually to ask our AI that we have. And it does all that kind of stuff really too. It just kind of helps you get a little bit better of a scope on what's going on, and yeah, it just kind of helps you kind of refine your thoughts, I guess. So we're gonna go back to our Kuroda.com here, and we're gonna launch our battle box here. So this green button right here next to the indicator thing, you hit launch battle box AI. It'll copy the prompt, so if you already have it open, you can just go ahead and paste it into the GPT. We don't though, so we're going to go proceed to terminal. This will open up our battle box AI, just like that. Go ahead and throw your stuff in there that you have copied, and it'll generate us a DMR here, daily market recap. So what DMR stands for. Get some more coffee while it's loading. All right. So the market snapshot is BTC is sitting around 91,000, going into the New York Futures anchor. The open is classified as in value, and price is sitting just below the prior 24-hour POC. by roughly 73.7 points, which tells us the market is still rotating around a fair price instead of advertising a fresh directional auction. With 30-minute working range defined between 90,700K and 91,100K, price essentially leaning on the top edge of that early box, which often creates the feeling movement without proof of intent. So today we're leaning short with a modest score of negative 18 and low confidence at 17.5. That combination matters. It's not calling for aggression. It's describing mild downside pressure inside a structure that is not trending. 2 reasons for your packet explain why the lean can short, blah blah. Price is in value, and the higher time frame state is in range with a slope score of 0. In other words, there's a preference in the pressure, but there's no earned right to action yet. So basically, we're looking short, but we haven't confirmed that we're short yet on any of the time frames. We can kind of go ahead and look at the 4-hour and the 1-hour as we run through this section here on the higher time frames. So we'll go ahead and open up our charts again, go to that 4-hour chart. And man, a little bit of a drop out there. All right, we'll zoom in a little bit right there just so you can see price action a little better. Get our indicators all lined up. All right, on the 4-hour, the trend is labeled range with slope score of 0, like we learned a minute ago. It's the structural way of saying neither side is currently being forced to chase. Range regimes reward patience because the market spends more time rejecting edges and recycling through value than it does extending cleanly. All right, so we're kind of ranging here, going sideways, looking like we're kind of flagging here, maybe possibly going to continue down to the downside even more today. We got MACD continuing that trend as well to the downside. We are actually light pink though, so that means we're seeing a little bit of loss of momentum. However, for whatever reason, we haven't really had momentum the whole time we've fallen. Like, we fell here. I guess we did have momentum there. And then we kind of came back up and then fell here. And it kind of pops in, it looks like. As price starts to fall, we got that momentum, pops in and then goes out and then pops in to drop again and then comes back out. So kind of weird price action here. You got RSI almost at the bottom here, almost at that oversold range. So looking for a possible flip back to the upside here on the RSI. Yeah, as for the 4-hour, it's looking... So I would say overall it's still looking short. Looks like we're kind of flattening, possibly seeing some sort of flag forming here on this resistance here. The other thing to think about is the 200 is right here. So that is some kind of major resistance right there that we need to break through if we're going to continue the downside. The other thing is we're between the 21 and the 200, so that's also another sign of well, I guess not another sign, that is a sign of being neutral. So unless, like I said, we get that break below the 200 here, we're not actually bearish. We're not actually bearish or looking short. We're just kind of in the middle, in that neutral zone. So we'll move on to the 1-hour now. So 4-hour kind of neutral to short looking. 1-hour, the clean truth tests are the shelves. So we got a 1-hour resistance at 93,342. 93,342. Yeah, basically basically this red line here. And the 1-hour support at 96.91. I'm guessing, yep, that blue line. Each with a strength of 0.6. These shelves matter because they define where a range stops being a range. Until price starts behaving differently around those zones, intraday movement is likely to be rotating. and probing rather than sustained follow-throughs. So essentially, we're just going to keep rotating between these two zones unless we get that breakout. Like I said, I believe that would put us below the 4-hour. Oh no, it wouldn't. I was lying. We're going to have to break down a little bit lower than that to get below that 4-hour 200 range and continue down. If we get that breakdown here, that'll be kind of the start of that movement. That'll tell us we're breaking out of the zone that the battle box is saying we're in, and we'll continue down. As for MACD, we're losing a lot of that momentum here. Kind of looking like we're possibly forming a bottom just based off these indicators. You can see MACD is forming that bottom here with the loss of momentum kind of coming up, and we're sideways here. As well as RSI is down, bottomed out, and looking to turn to the upside as well. And that's pretty similar, honestly, on the 4-hour as well. So, I don't know. We'll see. We are below the 21 and the 200 on the 1-hour, so that tells us we're in more of a bearish trend here on the 1-hour. Just basic rules of TA, at least that we follow, is that if price action is above 221, it's bullish. If it's in the middle, it's neutral, and then if it's below the 21 and the 200, it's bearish. So that would be why I would say the 4 hours neutral to bearish, and then the 1 hour, I would say overall bearish on that part of the indicator, but I would almost say it's starting to look more of a bullish trend here. We will have to get that break up though for it to kind of confirm that. Almost really have to get above this resistance here before we can kind of confirm we're in that bullish trend, which is kind of true. You know, normally whenever you're trying to go up like that, you need it to kind of break above the previous lower high before you see the trend direction change. You can almost think of it like a sort of line going down your chart. So you can see we got this line going down here, and we'll continue to like run into it and then break down, and then run into it and then break down, and then run into it, you know, break down. That would be kind of the pattern that we're forming. But what we want to see is we want to see it break up, and then once we get above this level, so say we break through it, retest, and then we get above this level and retest that, that'll tell us, okay, we just broke trends there. So that would be the flip of trend right here. Whenever we get the break above and the retest, that tells us we're confirming that break there and gonna flip direction more to the bullish side. But yeah, as of right now, we have not done that yet. So we're starting to show signs of being bullish, but we are not out of the woods yet on the bearish side. All right. It does throw a note in here. It says the weekly force is bullish. So this is an overall today's range condition, but it does explain why downside temps may still be clean. Need clean acceptance to stick, because the longer backdrop can create stronger buying responses unless price proves otherwise. All right, so we're kind of just watching price action here, really trying to see what's going to happen today. We're going to get that breakdown, get that break up. Only time will really tell. We're just going to have to kind of watch it as price moves on. As of right now, it's kind of looking pretty similar to yesterday in terms of how price action is kind of behaving. We just didn't have a lot of movement really yesterday until obviously later in the day, but and we did have a little bit of a trade in the morning. It just kind of took off, you know. You would have gotten in, gotten out, and then it would have come like right back down. Like honestly, there wasn't a whole lot of movement besides just kind of breaking up, hitting your target, and then coming right back down into range. with our more advanced system, we did actually end up hitting it. With the regular like roto battle box, it would have been hard to take. You wouldn't even been able to take it, I don't think, because we just didn't get the closes and everything. And honestly, like, it was a fast trade. It's just one of those that didn't really like fully confirm. And like, obviously, if you know what you're doing, yeah, if you're trading a more advanced system, it was a good trade. But with just the normal battle box system, it was not too great of a trade. You would have been jumping in early, taking the trade early, and then you would have really had to get out early too, I guess. So yeah, a little bit more advanced. It was a good trade though overall. Just not part of our roto battle box system we run through here on the day, and not the one that the battle box. Like, if you told the battle box about it, I don't know what would happen. Actually, we didn't try that. It might approve though. Just, I don't know. We do a lot of work with it between the two, so it might not. It might just accept it. I don't know. You have to see. Looks like we kind of just rejected there off of that daily support here. Zoom in on the 5 minute, you can see a little better. Came down, hit that daily support there, and then now we're kind of showing some signs of life, looking to break up. We'll see if we can get that break up to the upside. We are below the 21 and 200 on pretty much every chart up to the 1 hour, I guess. Up past the 1 hour. The 4 hours, only one, I think. We're still in the middle. So, interesting. All right, let's see what else we got on the battle box here. How's price likely to behave today with daily and 4 hour ranging, slopes at 0 and in value open? The most common behavior, rotational first, decision later. Okay, so that makes sense. Kind of the same thing we've been in, since Christmas. Typically January is a little bit slower of a month, just in general, especially because there's just not a ton of volume. For whatever reason, I don't know, people just maybe coming back from a vacation on Christmas, they're just not fully, like back in the swing of things, back ready to trade. I don't know, whatever reason it is. January is just a little bit slower. It kind of starts to pick up into February, and then really early spring is when it starts to pick up. And then actually summer is like pretty dead too. So kind of get a little bit of run here, and then got to wait till kind of August before stuff really gets too interesting. Summer can be all right. It's just it's a little slower of a time. The more people are out of office, they're all taking vacations, like, whatever. It just seems like it's not as much volatility and stuff. So we got, we don't got a lot happening today, it looks like. Just based off how the battle box is kind of responding, it looks like we got a little bit of a slower day planned out for us. Just a lot of chop sideways action, kind of bouncing around within our small range here. The purple line here and the green line would be our two breakout triggers. So as we kind of bounce around in between those two, oh yeah, you can see it. As we kind of bounce around in between those two, that'll be kind of just our range here throughout the day. Really, we can't do much of anything until we get the breakout on the other side. Watching for that directional trade. If you are more advanced, you probably could take some trades within this. However, without setup today, it would be a lot harder to do, honestly, just because our POC is so big today. We got that POC range here in the orange, I guess, with the dotted lines are like the range there, and then you got this middle color basically to show you kind of the range. And as we kind of bounce around, typically what you do is you take, say we come down, like we just said, you come down to your breakdown trade or something, and then you reject off of it, you'd be taking the trade back to the POC. Well, if you had done that on that trade, you would have gotten like nothing. So it's just hard to trade when it's like that. And I guess you could get this this trade here. You're just taking like little chunks off the market though. It's not anything like significant. Probably more risk than it really is reward. So I don't know. I guess it's up to you guys, you know. Trade at your own risk. We're just here for educational information. We're not here to be financial advisors, that's for sure. And neither is our GPT. Let's see. Yeah. Basically, at the end of the recap says that you want to make sure, if you're trying to be a professional, you want to make sure you're staying curious until the market commits, because the open location and a higher time frame posture are telling you the market's still negotiating value. So don't let acceptance do the talking. If nothing accepts beyond the 91,325 or 9707, then no trade is not a missed opportunity. It's correct alignment with the environment. Yep. So essentially what it's saying is even if we don't get any kind of trade, directional trade today, you're still in this system, you're still trading good. So yeah, we might not get a trade today, but you know, that's part of the system too. Sometimes you don't get the trade. Sometimes you're just kind of watching around waiting for the trade all day and nothing happens, and you still just got to take that as a win. You know, that's as long as you didn't jump into something or take something you shouldn't have, then you won for the day. Like that's just kind of, you know, the basics of trading. You pick your system and then you stick with it. There's not a whole lot outside of that, and sometimes, you know, it is pretty boring. Like you're just sitting here staring at the charts for hours and hours and hours, and you don't get anything all day. Like in some ways, I guess it's almost like fishing. Like you're just sitting there with your rod in the water, or not rod, I guess, but your line in the water, sitting there, nothing. You could be sitting there all day and never get a bite, and that's kind of what you're doing here. The only difference is, I guess, if you didn't catch a fish, you'd be kind of like, oh man, I didn't do anything that day. With trading, you kind of just got to take that as a win, because like, yes, you didn't catch anything, but you know, you threw your line out there. You put yourself in the right way of if a fish came along, your line would be there ready to go, so you'd be able to catch it. Whereas the other guy who never even put his line in the water because he didn't think it was a good fishing day, he didn't get anything. And yeah, you know, you might, like, neither did you technically, but you know, tomorrow could be the same circumstance. He never catches anything, and you might even just catch the one fish that's in the pond, and he would never get anything because he never put his line in the water. It's just how it works. Yeah, so yeah, all that to say, I guess, make sure you just follow your system, whatever it is. You're not jumping in anything crazy. You're just waiting, letting the market kind of tell you what it's going to do, and then you're jumping into it. We can check real fast. I want to see if there's actually any news today. So we'll go ahead and go back here. Open up a new website and go to cryptocraft.com, and we'll head to today's date, the 20th. And looks like we had a meeting today, WEF meeting. That is a little bit of the higher impact, but really nothing going on today other than that. It doesn't have a time frame for that either, so that's I'm assuming just all day, which I don't know. Those are hard to. They're just hard to like kind of predict, I guess. So it doesn't really matter for today. We're just watching the charts, you know. And then everything else is yellow. So yeah, not a huge deal on the news side today. Just looking really at price action, you know, just watching, seeing, letting price tell us what's going on, letting the chart kind of read it for us. Just kind of sitting here. So the fun part of trading, you know, just sitting here waiting for stuff to happen. We're waiting for price to kind of tell us what's going on. Still thinking it's more likely to go up today, just on the interdays is what I'm thinking, but we'll see. If we get that breakdown, oof, I don't know. It might not be that great of a trade. It's just hard because we are near so much resistance here right at the bottom, and like even the 1 hour and the 4 hour are kind of telling us that. So there's a lot of resistance like right below us, and if we go down, it's just hard to like, how much are we really going to go down? There's not that much room really to go down. So more than likely, I'm thinking we're going to get a little bit of a breakup. If we don't get that breakup and we do end up breaking down, we're going to have to break through that resistance before we can get anywhere. So if anything, it'll be more of a slow breakdown day. And I guess we did end up breaking through it with some volatility. We could just continue down, but I wouldn't think there would be a lot of a trade in that. I don't know. Time will tell, you know, like you can't really predict the market, and you just kind of, you got like I said a couple weeks ago, you kind of got to wait for the train to start moving before you jump on it, and then you know what direction it's going in, right? You don't want to jump on a train and just hope it goes the right way. And so we're not going to try to predict. We'll just kind of take it as it is. We can kind of talk about either way, you know. Is it going to go this way, going to go that way? But in the end of the day, price action is actually going to tell us which way it's going to go before it does it. And that's what we're watching for. That's what we trade off of. So like I said, nothing really happening today so far. Just kind of hanging out, waiting for the market to tell us what's going on. It's looking more like we're going to break down, honestly, right now. Just kind of going up, going down, switches every once in a while, you know. We'll see. Coffee's starting to get low. Gonna have to get a refill soon. Looks like I gotta update my trading view app. It looks like it's got it up here at the top. It's probably like way out of date. I think that normally I just like let it auto update. So I don't know why I didn't do that for whatever reason. Maybe it just, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. A lot of range bound right now. Not a lot of commitment. Waiting. Gotta see that price action kind of tell us where it's gonna go. Yeah, overall though, guys, pretty boring day for trading, I guess. Once we get that, once it kind of tells us which way, you know, which way are we actually gonna continue, then we might have something on our hands. But right now, really, it's not a whole lot. Just kind of hanging out, waiting for price to move, you know. Oops. Yeah. Yep, just hanging out. Looks like we might have a possible short coming in. Let's see. What do we got going on? It's okay, man. There is a possible short coming in. I just don't like the short. Yeah, it's just not anything like great. It is possible short. We need that. Yeah, we need the 15-minute closes and then 5-minute retest so before we jump in. Yeah, it really depends, guys. Like, if we get the breakup kind of out of this POC range right here, point of control range, and kind of start heading towards this, then I'll be looking more bullish. As of right now, though, we keep getting these dips down, and I mean, you could say, you know, that's pretty bullish for the candles, just because we got the breakdown here. You see that nice big wick, and then we've come back up each time. And that tells us that, you know, the bears are trying to fight us down below this line here, and we're actually pushing back up above that, not letting it break down below that resistance line. So that is pretty bullish overall, just based off of TA and kind of candlesticks and stuff. But it just hasn't confirmed yet, so we're, you know, it's kind of like everything else I said today, I guess. We're just waiting for price action to tell us. Right now, we're just range bound. We're just going up and down, up and down. Once we get the breakout here, then we'll know for sure which way we're going to go. I don't like the downside for today, is what I'm saying. So we could get a downside, you know, but it's just not going to be that great. I would rather go to the upside. It'd be a little bit better of a trade. It's just what I'm thinking. Just more room to go to the upside. There's a lot more resistance down here on the bottom, down low. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm really hoping we get to the upside, get a little bit of turnaround here. And it is looking like it. Like I said, just based off of those two candles, we're looking like we're going to get that bounce up. And just, you know, based off of how much resistance is right down here, I could see us go to the upside rather than the downside, just because it's going to be so hard to get down below through that resistance. It'd be way easier to just go up. So yeah, we'll just have to watch, see what price action kind of tells us as we're moving on, and see what we're going to trade. Yeah. I guess that's really it. So we don't got much else going on today. Nothing else really to cover in the live stream. Just kind of waiting around for price action to pick a direction, tell us which way we're actually going to trade. See if we're going to continue the upside or the downside. It'll depend. We'll just have to watch and see. Yeah, like I said, it's just waiting to see what will happen. Kind of want to keep the stream on because I feel like we could get that breakup here pretty soon, but it's hard to tell, you know. Like I said, it's kind of hard to predict price action like that. You just watch it when it's there, and then when it's not, I don't know. It is looking like we're about to get that breakup though, so kind of sitting here watching, getting ready, not jumping into anything yet. Obviously we haven't gotten our breakout and the 2 candle closes on the 15-minute and then the 5-minute retest, because that's really what we'll be watching for. But we could get ready to kind of be watching for that trade, see what we're gonna get. Didn't mean to do that. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how price action kind of reacts to this. Like I said, we're just kind of waiting around, seeing. I really want to kind of stay on the stream for a minute here, see which way we're gonna kind of head on to before we jump off. But yeah, we're just waiting around. It's getting close though. It is getting close, guys. Like, want to see that 5-minute close above this at least to kind of confirm the starting of our trade here on the market. So if we can get that 5-minute close above this line, then that'll tell us we're gonna see the possible up run here, but we could reject here too, just off of this. Like I said, you could have took that trade from right here on the green line here on our breakout trigger. You could have took that trade from there down. Could have. That would have been an okay trade. Nothing crazy. It's just so fast. It's hard to get into that stuff like that. And then also like I said, risk reward ratio not too great, especially today. There's just not a lot of movement there, so we're really just waiting for a directional trade. If you don't know what directional is, basically whenever we break out of our breakout or breakdown trigger and get that retest, the 250-minute closes, retest in the 5-minute, then we'll be looking for more of a trade to the upside. And then rotational though, and you could do that to the downside too. Same thing, just obviously down. And then rotational though would be kind of between the two. If we get a breakdown, break up, we'll see. They just look like we're actually rejecting here off of that breakout range. So yeah, just nothing super exciting right now happening. Just a little bit of a watch and wait. See what's going to happen today. There is a decent amount of volatility though coming in, I'll tell you that, because these two candles here, they're pretty decent size. We got almost just had a bearish engulfing candle right there 2 minutes before the close, but if we get that, that'd be just I don't know, a lot of volatility, because you can see we kind of sideways, and then we got this massive breakup, hit that resistance, and then now we're getting the breakdown right off of that. So could see something kind of pop here in the next couple of minutes. Decent amount of volume coming in, it looks like. I don't have volume actually on my chart, but that's what it's kind of looking like. And it looks like we're getting a little bit of a pullback here on yeah, I don't know. Like I said, we're kind of just hanging out, waiting around, so won't be anything too interesting probably happening on the stream unless we get something kind of popping off here on the trade. But really, yeah, we're just hanging out, watching the chart together, you know. Yeah, I don't know. We might not be able to get that either one today. I don't know. Like we said though, you get a bad trade, or you don't take a trade for the day, and you did that because of your system, then you are doing a good trade today. Like, you're in a good place. So just kind of waiting and seeing, I guess, what's going to happen. But yeah, honestly, for today, not looking too hot for either side. There is that downside risk. Like I said, we just got to break through some of that resistance before we can continue down. If we do end up getting that, then like I said, I don't think it'll be that great of a down run, but it could be. You never know. Just based off of TA, it's not looking too promising to continue too far down, but we could get that break up, and that would be nice. We're just gonna have to wait and see which direction the market actually picks. And until then, we're just kind of, sitting on our hands, have our line in the water, we're ready to go. But yeah, if no fish bites, then we're not going to be able to catch anything. So, thanks for watching, y'all. We got our recap coming out here at 10. So if you want to catch that, check out what trade we kind of took yesterday. I think we talked a little bit more about the advanced system we've been working on. So that's all in there. Check that out if you want to learn a little bit more. Maybe kind of check out what we've been working on, stuff like that. It looks like we're getting the breakdown right now, actually. I don't like that, but we'll see. Yeah, recap coming out at 10. We got our live stream tomorrow is at 8. So if you want to check us out again, get back on. Hopefully there's a little bit better trade tomorrow happening. Today was not too great, but we can't control the market. We're just gonna get on every day, every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Kind of set up our chart and see what happens. But for right now, that's really nothing. We don't got anything going on, so we're just kind of sitting around waiting, like I said. But yeah, check out our live stream tomorrow. Hopefully y'all will be back. Yeah, thanks for watching. Happy trading to y'all, and we will catch y'all tomorrow at 8 a.m. bright and early, ready for another live stream with coffee in hand. All right, we'll see y'all later. Thanks for watching.